Now for a very special part of our program, it is my pleasure to introduce Jeffrey Robey, our 2018 Student Commencement Speaker. Jeff graduated magna cum laude with a Bachelor of Science in Psychology from the University of Mary Washington in Virginia. After graduation, Jeff began work with the U.S. Navy and Central Intelligence Agency and received top secret clearance to work for national intelligence programs. His research efforts contributed to presidential level national intelligence estimates, academic presentations, and classified briefings to the U.S. fleet decision makers. Jeff graduates today with a PsyD in clinical psychology with a health emphasis from our California School of Professional Psychology. He has had vast clinical training in diverse settings, and he is currently at his clinical internship at the Miami VA Medical Center in Florida. He accepted a position to continue this work within the Veteran Health Administration as a postdoctoral fellow. He will continue to serve military veterans and their families across the lifespan. Please join me in welcoming Jeff Robey.
Thank you very much. Before I get started, some of the students, we were talking backstage, and this was the stage that Michael Jackson did the moonwalk on. So we thought to get even for all those exams, pop quizzes, dissertation defenses, thesis, we'd ask the faculty here to get up and demonstrate that. But I don't have my degree yet, so I'm not going to push that. So good afternoon, Mom and Dad. They didn't know I was actually speaking today, surprise. And good afternoon, Kevin, Ginny, and Jason, Seth, Scott, and faculty and administrators, and most of all, my fellow graduates. Nice to see you. I was 25 years old when I landed my dream job, but at 32, I was fired from my dream job. Like many in my family before me, we worked in the federal government, and I worked in the U.S. Navy as an intelligence specialist. I collaborated with the CIA to join the battle against global terrorism. And I was competent in my work, and I was soon being promoted. And in the midst of a standard background check, the Navy discovered I had a personal life. And this was also the era of don't ask, don't tell. I'll spare you the details of the background check, but I chose not to tell. They decided to ask, and that turned into the end of my naval career and the promotion that I had worked so hard for the career I dearly loved. And so what followed for me was a darker period of my life. I struggled at that time with feelings of self-worthlessness and emptiness. Having not been fired for work-related reasons, but really for being who I am, led me to battle a real host of unhelpful thoughts. I believe now, looking back on it, I had internalized that divisive hatred of don't ask, don't tell. And it also, I think, became self-evident to me that I was marginalized in a country that I loved, in which we were all created equal. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." Well, no one should consent, and no one should ever feel inferior. We really must keep the world's negativity outside of ourselves. And so gradually, by working on the health and fitness of my mind and making some conscious mental choices, I found a way out of this darkness. And it was really by enlisting the help of all of you, my peers, faculty, the staff, all together here at Alliant International University and CSPP, where I trained to be a clinical psychologist, that I made my way through. Throughout my clinical training, I have thought about my inner life, that inner mental struggle during those darker periods. And I realized I will now become a better psychologist because of that adversity. And so today I received my doctorate, and it is, of course, for me a major milestone, but I realize it is also just truly the beginning of what will be a fulfilling, useful, professional career as a clinical psychologist in mental health in service of all those that need help. And I speak really on my experience and how I got through this rough period in my life because I understand we all share similar stories. And we heard some of those from the president this afternoon. I know that for some of you, you've overcome seemingly insurmountable cultural barriers, sexism, racism, ableism. And many of you have overcome immense personal challenges. And as I look out at you, some of my peers and graduates, I do see some of you that have raised families, given birth to new children in the midst of your program, classmates who have coped with disabling illness, started relationships, had divorce, ended relationships, lost loved ones, struggled financially, given up, gotten up, and tried again. Because few of us get to this struggle in our lives without some major setback, some tremendous personal struggle, some spectacular failure despite our best intentions. But we must learn from these experiences and purge the self-doubt and find new paths, new possibilities, and that new inspiration. As Ernest Hemingway observed, the world breaks everyone, and afterwards, many are strong in the broken places. And as I look at you, I realize the result of overcoming your adversity, arriving at this moment today in our lives, we are truly stronger, magnificently so, at our broken places. But what comes next? Well, today should remind us that we are capable of accomplishing our goals through adversity if we remain committed. And today is also an example that anything and everything is possible when we focus our minds on a task with confidence and courage. And please look around this auditorium. Look to your neighbor, because today should remind us that we are not alone in this journey. We should continue to value and nurture these relationships we've built through classes and exams, and draw a strength through this common purpose and support. Because we do find ourselves in a world that is increasingly closed-minded and divided. And the world's problems can seem unfathomably big. And maybe we can't fix everything, but that shouldn't mean we shouldn't try to fix some things. Every one of us that believes in a single, enlightened, inclusive, democratic America can be generous with our time and our money. And that energy that we have can be devoted to helping others. So now, more than ever, the world needs good people that are going to do good things. So let's challenge each other to make our little corner of the world a little brighter. Let's challenge ourselves to see these obstacles as opportunities. Challenge ourselves to take action because our time is limited. And challenge ourselves to make a choice. Either to be a victim of these challenges that we face, or be a champion for overcoming the obstacles. And as the Dalai Lama cautions, if you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. So use your life, use your talent, use your Alliant degree in the dedicated service of others, and light a candle rather than curse the darkness. Thank you.
And why this is such a point of pride. And it is now my privilege to begin the presentation